Hey, and welcome to map 18 of the Plutonia experiment. This is Neurosphere, and as you can see, the opening to this level is very nasty for us. Gonna grab that blue armor, we really need it. So yeah, as this level kicks off, there's a whole bunch of enemies that we have to deal with. If we don't deal with them quickly, we will be destroyed, so that's why I'm moving very quickly here to get rid of as many of these enemies as possible. I've left that starting area behind, because frankly there's no real reason to stay there. We can come back later and deal with it when we've got more ammo. What you'll notice I'm doing throughout this level as well, I am trying to take care of enemies much further on in the level where possible. Like for example here we're taking down that bony boy in the cage there, just because it means later on I don't have to worry about him. We can't cross through this red barrier yet, we have to hit the red switch later in this level to achieve that. So you may be getting Inmost Den vibes from Doom 2, and that's because this level is sort of inspired from that one, and its inspiration is pretty clear throughout the way that the level is designed and laid out. I like the Inmost Dens, and I think a lot of Doom players like the Inmost Dens, so it's nice to kind of get a nice homage here in Plutonia. We're going to take care of this Mancubus through the cage. Again, there's no reason to let him live. You can see over there at the starting area all the enemies we left behind. I'm going to go back now and we're going to finish dealing with all them, but first get rid of that chain gunner over there. So it's not that hard to deal with all these enemies, but obviously when we had a pistol at the start of the level, it would have been very difficult for us to handle all this without losing so much health. But you can see this is a very interestingly designed level because there's pathways that go in all directions. It's a very sort of circular level in that you can always pretty much end up back at the start, no matter where you sort of head off. No, these are not switches before you ask in the comments. So we're going to grab this BFG here and the Megasphere behind it. So much like the Inmost Dens, you can explore the sort of river part between the level, and this actually allows us to kind of go around here and take out this arch vial here. There we go. So you can go up there, unlike in the Inmost Dens, where most of those platforms you could go up, you can't here. Again, you can see some red bars here. Just going to take out this pain elemental, because if we don't kill that now, it will come out later on and we'll have to deal with it when there's going to be a few more enemies around. It's just about sort of making sure that later on in the level we're not overwhelmed. There is quite a lot to explore in this level as well. You can see this is where the arch vial was. We're going to head over here now. Just going to let that rocket fly past. So this is the second part of the level here. Just going to get rid of these chain gunners up here. Get rid of the imps there. Grab the red key. There's nothing too exciting in this room. There's no traps on this level, interestingly. So, I mean, honestly speaking, the way that Plutonia has been, you would expect that room to have had some kind of trap in it, filled with monsters or enemies that came out. But no. You can also see that we can walk along the ledges of the level as well. So if you want to kind of do that, feel free. Hitting this red switch there lowers the red bars that we saw earlier on. Like here. And this grants us access to the final part of this level. So you can see that's the starter level there. That's the circular design we were talking about earlier, where you can kind of end up back at the start, because the level kind of leads you back that way. I do like this level. I think it's very well designed. Get rid of these chain gunners up here. there's an Arachnotron behind this door. Luckily, because we've been very careful in getting rid of the enemies, this encounter isn't that bad. You see, because we've taken out all the chain gunners and enemies in here, there's nothing really for us to do in here except just grab the blue key. Blue door is over here, and this takes us straight towards the exit. So you can see again back at the start of the level. You can go back to the start if you want there. Love the design here. Always love these kind of little arch things here. I'm going to take out the chain gun here. Again, you'd expect the end of this level to be more bombastic than it actually is, but this level doesn't really sort of elevate beyond what we're seeing here, because this is the end of the level. I do like this level, but I think one of its big weaknesses is that it lacks like any major set piece. I think that when you think of Plutonia levels, there's always that kind of trap, or there's something that you remember from each of the levels that makes you go, that's a Plutonia level. This one feels like a very competent level, don't get me wrong, but it lacks any like real memorable moments, and I think that that works against the level overall. Because even at the end there was plenty of scope for something bigger to happen, like at the end where there could have been like monsters that came out of the walls when you hit that final switch. Maybe something more interesting could have happened, I don't know. I'm not saying, you know, all these levels need to have traps and things to surprise the player, but maybe like an interesting set piece just to kind of spice up the end of the level would have been nice there. But overall, I really like the design of this one. It's a very fun level. So let me know what you think of Neurosphere. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's a good Plutonia level? And thank you very much for watching.